Dustin Thomas, aka No Legs, is about to be on the show.
Yes.
Let's see here. It's calling. So, in the meantime, hello, Dustin. Is that you?
Hello?
What's up? How's it going?
Hey, it's going. Hang on just a sec.
Yeah, no problem. So, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only No Legs Dustin Thomas of Joey Janela's Spring Break fame. There he is.
The one and
Beautiful.
only.
Beautiful. You cut the beard a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Shave that all off.
That was growing pretty long, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was getting all over the place. I had
Yeah.
to do something about it.
I love it. I should probably do something like that too. Mine is like,
Yeah.
I don't know, hang in there.
You should.
So thank you so much, Dustin, for coming on the show. This is a big moment for us. It's our first interview.
Yes. Hello.
And,
All right. Awesome.
First interview.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, anytime. I'm Jack Peterson, by the way. I'm the host of this show, Fightgeist, and my co-host there, as I assume you can see, is Phil.
Hello.
We've got
Nice
a bunch
meet-
of questions for you, and we have people in the chat right now who I assume are going to be asking questions as well.
Yes.
I want to start with probably the most obvious thing. You use the name No Legs as your wrestling gimmick, or else your own name. How exactly did you lose your legs in the first place?
Yeah, so I was born with a genetic disease in my spine. Or not, sorry, it was not genetic. It was a spinal disease. And so I couldn't move my legs from like the knee down since I was born. So it was made a decision as to just like amputate them when I was 3. So it's really not anything like, it was no good story or anything for it. It's really boring. So
Well, that's all right. So why did you choose to get into wrestling as a person who doesn't have the advantages that some other wrestlers have?
Sure. So I wrestled amateur wrestling since I was 4 years old. So it was like wrestling's been in my life my whole life. And I watched professional wrestling the same time I was amateur wrestling. So it's always kind of just been a dream of mine.
Yeah, that's great.
Nice.
Phil, you got a question?
Yeah. I want to know how your training was different from people, from other people that do have legs. Because
Right.
I know like you must do different things. Like I don't know how did you start first taking bumps or doing rolls and stuff like that?
So yeah, when I started training, I knew I had to go in there and like prove that I deserved to belong. So like the first thing I did was just get in the ring and start like flying around and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, training was actually relatively the same as everybody else.
Really?
It really wasn't too much different. I learned the basics, of course, the same way. Yeah, they treated me the same there. So I mean, and that was probably the best that they could do. Yeah, so it was relatively just learning with other people the same way. Yeah, everybody wants. Yeah, it's more just like high flying stuff that I was doing in my own time.
Nice.
Well, that's what's really incredible about your style too, is that like you have all these crazy high flying moves. You're hitting 619s and Hurricane Ranas and stuff like that. And I mean, you're definitely more athletic than a lot of wrestlers who have legs, which
Sure,
I
thanks.
think is pretty
Totally.
incredible. But what you're most known for your appearance on Joey Janela's Spring Break about a year ago. How did that all come about? Because it led to you ending up debuting in AEW. How did Joey Janela find you and end up booking you?
Yeah, so I did a match for the company that I trained for down in New Jersey, ECPW, East Coast Pro Wrestling down in New Jersey, and I did one match there. I was on 2 shows. I did one match, and that match went viral. Pictures of me doing a 619 and a 450. That went viral. It got into Janela's hands, which it's that East Coast everywhere. So everybody on the East Coast knew all about me and stuff after that video. So that was really what made it blow up. And then, of course, Spring Break took it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, for sure. And then you ended up being booked on AEW. How did you find out at the same time everybody else did, with Cody and the Young Bucks commenting on your videos?
Yeah. Yeah, that was when I found out too. Yeah, it was on Twitter. I think it was actually Janela that told me too about it, and I had to go look it up because I didn't believe him. And so it was awesome to see it on Twitter. Yeah, because my phone was blowing up at that point far quicker than I could keep up with. So it was hard to keep up with it. So I was surprised. And yeah, so that I found out when everybody else did. Probably a little later.
Yeah. Phil, go ahead.
That's really interesting. It was amazing to see you at AEW. I totally marked out. That was one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome for me too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was real cool. I want to know what's one of your favorite matches that you've competed in.
Oh wow. So that spring break one with Tony Deppen is one that always just kind of stands out because it was such an energy I've never felt before or really since. I mean, of course, debuting at AEW was the biggest moment. Like that was surreal to me, but the difference in like atmosphere at GCW was like off the charts.
Oh yeah, totally. GCW is so much fun. Going to those events, it's unlike anything else. The crowd is just so pumped. Everyone is just so cool. It's such a great time at GCW.
Yeah, I actually missed the. Sorry, Phil. I missed the first show. I hadn't watched the show where you debuted on the first part of Spring Break, but I went live to the Clusterfuck show, where you showed up as a surprise entrance, and I had never heard of you before, and you came out and they introduced No Legs, and I was like, the crowd just went like apeshit, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? But like as soon as you got in there, that was pretty insane. But you kind of had like a standstill because you ended up getting injured, right?
Was this last August?
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my match with Joey. Yeah, I broke my leg like 3 minutes into the match. Wow. Yeah, so I've been pretty much sidelined since then. I've done a few shows since then though. So I mean, like I'm ready to go when this COVID-19 likes to drift off into the sunset.
For sure. Have you talked to AEW or Cody Rhodes or Joey or anybody since the Battle Royal?
I think. Oh yeah, no, definitely since the Battle Royal because that I got hurt after the all that. Yeah. So yeah, I've talked to them since the Battle Royal and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I had plans to be in Tampa for spring break, and I mean, right now I think it's really just about waiting. Yeah. Because as far as I know, I don't think I haven't heard at least of anybody running any shows. So yeah, it's really just kind of wait and see for all of us.
For sure.
Yeah. It totally sucks. Me and Jack both train to be wrestlers, and I absolutely miss being in the ring so much. This COVID-19 just absolutely sucks. We're all suffering together.
Yeah.
It's so horrible. But, it'll be all over eventually.
Probably pretty
I hope.
Soon,
Yeah.
Phil,
eventually.
So again with the favorite match, what is one of your favorite matches that you've ever seen? Like just growing up as a wrestling fan and all that.
Probably my favorite match growing up was that rivalry between Triple H and Shawn Michaels, and it could really be any of those. Any of the matches. That Last Man Standing one I thought was like a great finish too.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the last one they had that at Royal Rumble, like in 2004 or sometime in that area. Yeah, any of those matches are probably my favorite. Even the Taker and Shawn matches, like the first one, even the second one, those are great matches. I'm a big Shawn Michaels guy, so a lot of that growing up was what I watched. So
for sure, that Hell in a Cell match was one of my favorite matches of all time. The Triple H and Shawn Michaels one. I think it's a very underrated. So what is your goal ultimately? I mean, I know most wrestlers, probably just about all wrestlers, want to end up at some point in the WWE, but is that something that you're looking to do and actively pursuing?
I mean, yeah, of course. I don't think I really have an end goal. I just want to keep doing this and entertaining people. I love wrestling. I love doing it. I love traveling and meeting new people and new fans and stuff. I just love going out there. So, yeah, I mean, of course I would love to. I would never say no to that. But, I mean, there's no really end goal for me. I want to do it as long as I can.
Sure. That's great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Phil,
that's great. That's awesome. This is to change the topic a little bit.
Okay.
Video games. Have you played wrestling video games growing up?
Of course. Yeah, no. I had all the SmackDown games, the SmackDown versus Raw games. Yeah. Me and my little brother were huge fans back in the day.
Such those SmackDown versus Raw games, man. They're unlike anything else. All those really pre-2K games, just absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah.
SmackDown versus Raw stands out the most to me though, because like that's what I kind of grew up playing, and those soundtracks are amazing. Everything about it. But I also go back to like No Mercy and the SmackDown games and all that.
Yes.
Very fun. I want to know what you would think would be your favorite wrestling video game. Number one.
Wow, that's a good question. I spent a lot of time, like probably way more time on SmackDown Just Bring It than I should have.
Yeah.
So that was probably the one I played the most, but I really liked like SmackDown vs. Raw. The first one was really good.
Oh yeah.
Those Day of a Reckoning games on GameCube were fun. I mean, there's just so many good games of wrestling when I was a kid. I mean, especially compared to now, it's like really hard to play a WWE game. But probably Just Bring It probably be my favorite one, just because I have the most memories of that one.
Nice. Dude, you mentioned Day of Reckoning. Like, I never talk to anybody about Day of Reckoning. Those games are super slept on, but those are great wrestling games. Amazing wrestling games. Along with the WrestleMania games. Do you remember that mode where you had to stop WrestleMania from happening, and you have to throw like the construction workers off the construction site and all that? That was very fun. My favorite wrestling game. That's hard. That's something we should make a video for, Jack.
We should do that.
That I have to think long and hard about. But yeah.
Have you played 2K20? You mentioned it's hard to play the recent games.
I played it for a short amount of time. Somewhere I can't remember where it was. It wasn't long. Like I don't own it, and I play video games a lot. So no, I don't really play it.
Yeah, we've argued a lot about that.
2K wrestling game in probably 3 years.
Yeah,
understandable.
Oh man, that's funny you say that, because I didn't play. Jack started playing the 2K games in 18. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I played in 18, but never got the other ones. And I recently just got 20, and I'm just digging it so much. And we were talking about this. I don't remember if we were still live, but about arcade games, like the arcade style of wrestling games and then the simulation style of wrestling games. And I'm torn between liking simulation or arcade, but I think I'd lean more towards arcade wrestling video games. And I would feel you would too.
For sure. I think it adds for more like creativity, which a lot of wrestling is. I think it's hard to make a real sim wrestling game for, a sport like pro wrestling, I guess would be. But it's just, I think it's difficult because the creativity and everything that goes into wrestling itself is hard to replicate. Being able to let fans do that.
Yeah, that's true. You have a point there.
Phil mentioned earlier on, he asked you about your favorite match you've had. What is your least favorite match that you've had?
Oh, jeez. Well, I'm not a big fan of when I broke my leg.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even disappointed I broke my leg. I just, I feel bad for the outcome of it. Yeah, I mean, that's probably my least favorite one. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. What was your first match like? Were you like super nervous? Did it go well?
All right, so a fun story about the first match I do. I actually do something similar about like with Spring Break with Tony Deppen, where I'm pulled out of the crowd. I do something similar with that, and then come back the next week. But so they had me do a promo first, and that basically got all of the nerves out of the way because I had to forget about everything because they had me go out first on the show.
Oh, wow.
And and then announce our main event that night. So, by the time the match came, I was all out of nervousness. So.
Oh, nice. How did the match go? You thought it went really good?
Oh yeah, it went. I couldn't imagine it going better. I mean, I'm sure
that's beautiful.
A few things that went, wrong. I'm sure if I went back and watched it, but it felt really good just to be in there. It's like feeling, especially since it was my first match. It's the only time I really felt that energy, which is an experience.
Yeah. I've been able to feel that a little bit. Like at training, there will be people there watching the matches, the practice matches, and that's pretty fun. And it's nothing like hearing people actually pop for a move that you do. Like people going, ooh, like it's the best feeling in the world. And I want to feel that when I actually do have live matches. I'm sure you feel the same way too, Jack.
Yeah. Have you ever experienced any wrestlers like not being cool with you during your career?
Not any to my face.
Okay.
Okay.
So I mean, like, yeah, I think a lot of us get shredded by, podcasters. I think we all get shredded by someone at some point. You know, it's I really try to just ignore the bad because I mean I understand that there's like people that are just doesn't really matter what you do, they're gonna dislike you just the way you are. So I mean I can't really like. There's not any that really stick out to me, and nobody said anything to my face. So
Okay.
I guess that's what really matters.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. And so not to like in any way compare you to other wrestlers who have less than 2 legs, but do you know Zach Gowen at all?
I mean, I've never spoken to him. He did retweet one of my wrestling videos, so I mean, I know we're aware of each other. So I've never met him. I mean, I hope someday we can meet up because this is a question I get a lot. Is that we've never met, so
that would be like a dream match, I would think.
yeah, maybe
That would be a cool match, honestly.
yeah,
No
That would
legs
be
versus
amazing.
1 leg. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So well.
What is your most immediate career goal when this is all when coronavirus is all over and you're back in the ring and everything's totally back to normal? What do you want to do next?
Oh man, I want to just continue my career. I want to show people a lot that breaking my leg really didn't. It was just an accident. It happens. And I want to come back from that. Just continue my career because I thought I was on a really high ride there for a while. And I just want to come back and be entertaining people. Really is what's most important to me. I don't like I said. It's not really an end goal thing with me. I just want to be out there performing.
Yeah, that's great. Phil, you got any more questions?
No, that does it for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, great.
Do you have any more?
Thank you.
Does the chat have any more?
Yeah, if the chat has any more, this is your last chance. I am all out of questions, so thank you so much, Dustin Thomas, for coming on the show.
Yeah.
No Legs. We really appreciate
really
it. We'd
fun.
love to have you on anytime.
And thanks for having me, guys.
Our first wrestler interview.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Hey,
the
cool.
first of
Thanks.
many.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Well, have a good one, man, and good luck with everything.
Yeah,
You guys
thank
too.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one.